All right, let's do this before I change my mind. Kind of tired. A long day, long week. All right, so firstly, yesterday I did kind of lean a little bit bearish. I thought we'd come down to maybe um orange gap, 68, 69.50. Of course, we had a full-on bearish engulfing candle. Little baby gap there, purple gap filled, and then we floored this gap from last Wednesday. Yeah. You see with the two little spike floors there, and then rest of the day, up, up, up. I'm actually surprised we didn't actually stall at the 10 MA. We did initially stall. You can see the spikes there, but we had a closing hour ramp, and hell, a few indexes settled green. My guess is tomorrow we have a risk of maybe reversing back down and cooling to maybe 69.10. I don't think this low is going to be taken out. I think 69.10 on a stretch. But yeah. Like also I should. Oh, I like the VIX. Come on, there it is. Yeah, look at where the VIX maxed out. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Gap filled on a Thursday. Look, note the two little spikes, right? Topping spikes. Down we go. Of course, if the VIX is down, equities jump, and you can see the VIX actually tagged the opening gap. So again, I would imagine that maybe if equities are down in the morning, VIX could come back to maybe what, 18 and a half, maybe. I do not expect the VIX up here again. That gap is, in my view, that gap is done with. All right, moving on. Let's start with Apple. So Apple had earnings in after hours, which were fine. Stocks settled up 0.7%, 258. Um, Structure's a bull flag, but I'd be open to, if the main market's down early Friday, which is my inclination, then maybe Apple will even come back down to 253 briefly. But that would still make for a bull flag, and we should test the 50-day next week instead. Trying to get the dates on the bottom for you. There we go. Large aviation down 4%. Mostly it was due to the main market. Partly it was down to sister stock JOBY. Agnico Eagle, new historic high, but it did settle red. I would note that today's spike was from a 10 MA. I don't think we have a clear top. We're overbought, but you know, you see what happened last time. We had literally just a week down and then resuming back upwards. We'll get to gold and silver at the end, but I want to flash through a few of these. First Majestic Silver, initial upside, bearish engulfing candle does bode bearish for Friday. Hang on a sec. All right, but yeah, bearish engulfing candle. Moving on. AMD, choppy. Amazon. Yeah, there was talk that Amazon wants to invest maybe up to, I don't know, tens of billions in OpenAI, which to me sounds stupid. Barrack Mining, new historic high, but that's a bearish engulfing candle. Suggestive that Friday will be red. Boeing down 3% against main market pressure. Baba, a week. Bank again. Yeah, the financials actually were doing okay today. Financials are starting to push up. Yeah, look at this. Momentum will probably turn positive on not tomorrow, probably on Friday. I'm on Monday. But yeah, bullish defense. Bitcoin was down almost 10% because of crypto. Caterpillar, look at that, 3.5%, new historic high. I think it had earnings this morning, right? I forget. I didn't actually check them. Kimiko, new historic high, if settling red. Carnival, up 8% because their sister stock, Royal Caribbean, had earnings. Look at that, 18%. It's an incredible jump. One of the biggest jumps it's had in a long time, I guess. Yeah, the biggest jump since the April low. Cleveland Cliffs don't care. Coinbase down with crypto. Deckers closed up 2.3%. People buying ahead of earnings. In after hours, earnings were good. Stocks trading somewhere between 110 to 115. Original target of 125 is on track. So, you know, anybody short was overly risky. But yeah, this company's doing fine. Again, if Deckers is up tomorrow, Deckers will be up tomorrow, and that should bode bullish for Nike. Disney up 1.8%. That's actually a bullish engulfing candle after a lot of chop leans bullish into next week. Freeport McMoran up 2.3%. New historic high. If we just jump to copper, copper printed a new historic high. Wow, I didn't realize it was that high. 658. Wow. So yeah, it's black candle because it got dragged back down by the main market, but still, 658 is the new historic high. I am wondering when we're going to get the next one of these because that was ugly. That was real ugly as well. You got to wonder, this is a black candle. That's a problem. It does lean bearish for Friday, but midterm bullish for sure. Google, that's that is a black candle for Friday. Yeah, settled up 0.7%, but yeah, black candle. In fact, actually, yeah, that's a new historic high, 342. Home Depot, a third day lower. Just now it's back to testing this threshold, which of course it floored at last week with a reversal candle. I do wonder if maybe, I don't know. Actually, yeah, look at that. Momentum's turned negative. It bodes bearish for Friday. Also, today's volume was slightly higher. I think this does look bearish for Friday, actually. And there's a little tiny unfilled gap. I've not marked it here, but you can see there's a little gap there to around, I don't know, 360 to 362. Yeah, this could be down another 3 or 4% tomorrow. Um, that does support my notion that the equities will be down tomorrow, at least for a bit. Heckler, again, a short-term high from there, bearish engulfing candle, day 4 down. We're in the 26s. Next support is around here, around 23-ish. So we're getting close. I also will note, yeah, look at that. Daily momentum turned negative today. Short-term bearish. Intel, a lot of chop. Pretty tight range though today. Holding up well to the main market. JOBY was down 16.7%. It's lost for 200 day. Why is it down? Because JOBY raised $1 billion today. It raised 600 million by convertible corporate debt and 400 million in stock. I think this is a good company. Technically, it's broken, of course, but then that's because of the capital raise. I do like the company a lot. It's oversold, which is actually the first time it's been officially oversold in over a year. Volume was extreme. Yeah, look at that volume. Look at that volume. Wow. That's going to be the highest yeah, that is the highest volume in JOBY history. Stock is cyclically low, but probably will take down for another day or two. I like this. I like JOBY a lot. I might buy the stock soon. JP Morgan, again, the financials had a strong day. Note the fact that recent price action held from the 200-day. Bullish to fins. Don't care about that or that. LEU just down with the rest of the nuclear stocks. Main market pressure, that's all it is. Lockheed Martin, good earnings. New historic high 645. We can start to think 700 looks easy. Maybe 800s. Yeah, I think 800 by late summer looks pretty straightforward now. Very profitable, successful company. Meta Platforms 10%. So it gapped above the 200-day on earnings. And even though, actually, no, that's not a black candle, but it's almost filled the gap anyway. I do not expect red gap to be filled. MP Materials down 7%. That's just main market pressure. I don't expect. I would expect the 200-day to hold. Bullish. Microsoft. Yesterday's candle was a black. Was it black doji? Kind of a doji, but it's black candle from the 50-day and 200-day. And now we have a nice little gap tag from May. This is where we could expect it to find a floor. Net bullish. Net bullish into March, in my view. Earnings were good. Micron, new historic high. Impressive. Netflix down 1.7%. Not quite a new cycle low, but again, look, this is just, it's horrible. Natural target remains $70, so we're not far off. Nike up 0.6%. Earnings from Deckers should help this one tomorrow morning. Nvidia's up 0.5%. A lot of chop. Oklo down 8, almost 9%. Main market pressure, nothing more. Ondas, look at that. Yesterday's black candle played out, down 8%. $11.27. I would be midterm bullish, 25, 30. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a good company. Black candle for Oxy. Pan American Silver, bearish engulfing candle, down 4%. Short-term bearish for Friday. Palantir, yesterday saw the first close under the 200-day since early 2024. Bearish follow through, down over 3.5%, 151. Next support is around 125. It might print 125 in February. That's clearly possible. 100 looks realistic, but not until March or April. Mr. Berry, who I believe is still short, should be very comfortably short until around 100. PayPal, the horror continues. I mean, look at this. This is horrible, right? 1.8% down. New multi-year low, 53s. 53. This is just terrible. Nothing good there. Don't care about that. Down with the other drones. Rocket Lab down 3%. That's just main market stuff. SMR down 7.5%. In my view, that's a buy. Basic target remains 200-day, $30. I like it. Target up 1%, just main market. Actually holding up to main market. Tesla, that's not a pretty candle, is it? Look at that. There's no sign of a turn there. This does bode bearish for a lower low on Friday. It's bearishing off in candle. It's not good. Take two down 1.6%. Another attempt to floor from a 200-day. United Health was down 0.6%. Again, it's churning. I think we're going to take out the August low. Probably not until March or April. UPS was up 2.2%. Today's candle was a little bit spiky though. And I'm starting to think we have a pretty good chance of coming back down to $100. Yeah. It is technically midterm bullish though, from $80. And finally, Exxon, new historic high, 142s. Earnings are due early Friday, should be good. Today's candle is, it's not black. But yeah, so it's overbought, 79. It's look at that run. It's a hell of a run, right? It's up. Look at it. It's 103 in August. That's 140. This is Exxon. Exxon's a pretty boring stock, but it's had a good run. Clearly today it was helped by oil. And yeah, I'll take a quick look at oil. Yeah, look at that. Oil was up $2.12. 65.33. Next target 67. And then 70. Then we have the 78s on this crazy bearish engulfing candle from last June. I still can't remember what the hell that was about. Why did that happen? What was that about? Okay, what else? Yeah, gold and silver, of course. We'll end with that. Um, Incredible. So for the day, gold was moderately down, right? So if you only knew about the daily change, you say, okay, gold was down $25, 0.5%. But look at this. We printed a new historic high, 5608, according to stock charts. We printed a low of 5113, but we recovered to 5394. So I mean, an incredible. I mean, I guess the candle on a daily chart, the candle doesn't look that big, but it's it's an insane. That is it's a four, it is a $495 intraday swing. And if we look on a 5-minute chart, I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart for GLD because this is wild. Look at this. Note also the opening black candle, right? There's a sell signal right there. And it just started to roll over, took out the 10 MA on the 5-minute, and then just dropped like a rock. And then look at this. Look at the spikes. 1, 2, 3, 3 good spikes marking the floor. Then it went from 468 to 494, which is a what's that? That's a 20. That's a 200 in gold terms. That's a $260 ramp. It cooled back and it actually ended at the high of the day. Just jumped to silver on a 5-minute. Again, silver also had a black candle. I remember talking about this in early morning. Rolled over, plummeted like a rock. Look at that spike floor, spike, 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 and off we went. We went from 96 to 105. That's a $9 swing. Cooled back $4, and then pushed up and even broke a new high for the morning for the afternoon of 106. So I was buying around. I bought in the morning. I bought a block there, and I bought another block about here, and I sold both of them about there. So because you look at this price action, this was a chop fest, and I was concerned that we were going to come back down to here in the early afternoon, but that's okay. You know, at least on a good note, I didn't buy here. I didn't chase higher. I waited until it, you know, I waited until at least 3/4 of it was the first down wave occurred. Didn't catch the low, but I was close. Somewhere, block 2 was there. But anyway, these swings are wild, right? We're talking about, I mean, look at this, 109 to 96. That's that's $13 down in like what? Literally, I guess literally now, yeah. 1 hour, a $13 drop. It's insane. It's off the scale crazy. What else? Yeah, by the way, okay, that chart looks okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I will just say, yeah, the stock charts has an issue with silver. That candle is wrong. So we'll ignore this chart. It is wrong. It does not capture today's move properly. Um, I'm just thinking, what chart do I want to end with? Oh, look at this. This is just wild, right? So I mean, look, last week's candle, which was strong, it just the candles are getting bigger and bigger, right? So what's next week's candle going to be? Are we going to? This is serious questioning. Are we going to be printing $6,000 next week? Because at the current rate, the candles are getting bigger and bigger. Are we going to be printing 6K next week? I mean, look, we printed 5608 today, so six K is realistic next week. And the only other, maybe I'll get a silver weekly, although again, I'm cautious about this candle. It might not be correct to some degree. But anyway, look, this is kind of like bam. Look at this, just keeps going. Wild. And look at this little bullish pattern here. What a great example of price action coils up and then bam. I mean, I've only had one down week since November. I mean, are we on again? If you assume gold 6K, I guess you could argue that gold 6K now would maybe only equate to silver one. I could say maybe 140, maybe 150. So yeah, I think if we see gold 6K, then silver's probably going to be about uh, pretty close to 150 maybe. Crazy time. I think I'll end with the gold chart again now. Also gold silver ratio actually. Actually, that's a Dow gold. Gold and S gold silver ratio is still 46. It's interesting. What about gold Bitcoin? Well, look at that. Gold Bitcoin ratio from 35 down to 15, which is the lowest since 2023. I think I'll end with this chart. Yeah, this will be the end chart. So we have one trading day left of the month. Oh my God, look at this. This this is wild. With one trading day left of the month, gold is up $1,123, 26%. Calling this gold is 54.46. So stock charts has been adjusting things just again. It just did it, I think. No, it hasn't done silver yet. There's some quirkiness with this. Yeah, you see this? I clicked on it in the last couple, literally as I'm doing this video, stock charts has now adjusted the daily changing gold from minus 25, and now it says plus 26, up 0.5%. This is very annoying. Stock charts and the data feed is an issue here. I mean, in the scheme of things, it's not too annoying, but there is an issue that if I do a video before midnight, which is 7 o'clock Eastern, um, bloody numbers will often change before midnight, which they just literally did as I'm doing the video. So yeah, officially now gold is 54.46 on the day. But anyway, I was going to close on that chart, so I'm going to close on the monthly chart. So yeah, $1,123, 26% on the month. And you think, oh my God, are we going to be printing 6K within the next week or two? It does look possible. At the current rate, that's where we're going. Look at that. It's accelerating upwards. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, regardless of how tomorrow settles. It's been a net bullish month for equities, gold, silver, copper, probably oil too, the miners, most things. And earnings are coming in fine, right? Not all companies are posting good numbers, but most of them are fine. And I wish you a good Friday and good night.